Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan has blamed the U.S. for his ouster in a vote of no confidence in April 2022.
It was a conspiracy. It was the army chief. It was the guy who's the prime minister right now. And the US came into it as thinking as I'm someone anti-American. Your foreign policy must reflect what is in the interest of your own population. And that somehow, is in the terms of, I guess, US is maybe considered anti-American. It was the army chief. It was the guy who's the prime minister right now.
The ex-premier told American magazine Newsweek that the U.S. Undersecretary of State Donald Lu had warned of consequences for Pakistan if he was not removed from office. Khan added that Lu also met with lawmakers just before the no-confidence vote. The ex-premier is now confined to his residence in Lahore. He's facing over 150 charges filed against him since his ouster. The government accuses Khan of inciting violence, among other charges. Khan, however, denies this. He says the charges are politicized and an excuse to outlaw his party.
It was a conspiracy.
Abdullah Khan, managing director at the Pakistan Institute for Conflict and Security Studies, joins us from Islamabad. Welcome to the program. You know, when you take a look at what Imran Khan has said, this really proves the point that the U.S. Does work behind the scenes to, I guess, for whatever interest that it may have, to work against a sitting official, because during that time Imran Khan was still a sitting official. Again, it's somewhat cloudy or hazy what interest the U.S. has, but obviously Imran Khan did not suit or serve those interests. Isn't this a clear violation of interfering in another country's affairs and thus taking away its territorial integrity in a sense?
Thank you. First of all, let me admit that there is a history of American involvement in regime change in different parts of the world. There is no denying the fact. But in Pakistan's context and in the context of Imran Khan, we know that during last 1 year, Imran Khan have changed his stances and his statements multiple times. Recently, in his interview with the Newsweek, he once again repeated his allegation that it was American involvement, but few months ago, he said that Americans have no involvement in that. So for multiple times, Imran Khan took so many different positions about his ouster. Sometimes he blames the political forces, sometimes he blames the establishment, and sometimes he blames the Americans. So he himself needs to realize that what is the actual position. And keeping in mind his party in the America, the PTI in PTI US, they are pledging to the American congressmen and American senators, the American government to get involved in the Pakistani politics. Every other day we see a letter written by the PTI leaders in America to American senators and congressmen to the government officials that they should take up the case of so-called human rights violations in Pakistan. So on one hand, Imran Khan is accusing America for his regime change. On the other hand, his own party is actually pledging to the Americans that they should involve in Pakistani politics. So there are two different stances. Imran Khan is actually confusing everybody, and his workers are also being confused with this.
Well, what do you think? Do you think that the U.S. actually had a hand in this or not?
In my personal opinion, Joe, I cannot say anything for surety, because Imran Khan, the people who were in power or who are in power, they know it better. But the Pakistani National Security Committee, it said that there was no conspiracy involved in that regime change.
All right. But let me ask you this, because maybe this needs to be somewhat discussed. What type of relationship does the U.S. have with Pakistan that would serve the U.S. interest, that would be at the top of the list? It used to be the so-called war on terror and the cooperation that Pakistan had with the U.S. on that. But given the importance that Pakistan has for the U.S., what interest would have Khan had for the U.S. And now with the current Prime Minister in terms of its relationship or his relationship with the U.S. In order for us to gauge to see whether the U.S. maybe had a hand or not. Of course, these are just speculations and analysis, but again, your opinion matters here.
You know, Pakistani and American relations, they were always remain there, but they were always troubled. The Americans were never happy with Pakistan, and Pakistan was never happy with the America. But at the same time, both you know, worked together for a long period of time. During Imran Khan's tenure, we have seen the Doha Agreement was signed. The American pulled out of Afghanistan, and Pakistan facilitated all that during Imran Khan's regime. And Imran Khan was actually cherishing his relationship with Donald Trump at that time, because he had visited America and met Trump, and Trump himself said he is a very good friend of mine. So I don't know, you know, where things went wrong, and Imran Khan started to believe that you know, America was not ready to accept him. Yes, one thing is very sure, and let me admit that Imran Khan had and still has a point of view that we should be neutral in other people's war. Then Imran Khan had announced that we will never fight anybody else war, and he was against the war on terror for the day one. So that was the principal stance the Imran Khan took during all his life, and now after the pullout of the Americas, he perhaps was of the opinion that we should never in future take part of anyone else's war.
Okay, still leaves a lot of questions out there, but we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for your input. Abdullah Khan, Managing Director at the Pakistan Institute for Conflict and Security Studies. Thank you.